Well, the Misfits have brought their A game over on to Cash, but we're going to see if they can bring it out here on Mirage, as that is the map we're going into. But they've got quite a bit of work cut out for them there with SK Gaming. That being said, guys, what should we look for here?
What should we look for in SK Gaming? Maybe to win. Maybe to actually, not go 0-2 for the night.
Maybe to get a pistol round?
Maybe a pistol round. I like pistol rounds.
So one thing that you have to note about Mirage whenever SK is playing Mirage is that was the map that they made their name on, right? That was they were the team who upset Fnatic, who was the big dog, in the world at the time, and they beat them pretty handily in Mirage. So that was the first map that they got known for. So right here, you know that they have the ability to do well on this map. Cash is not really an SK map when you think about it. So this one should be in the opposite favor. So this one should go towards SK.
Well, in theory, last night we were asking the same question I'm about to ask now. SK Gaming have never been 2-0'd in EPL this season. Last night there was a chance for it. Tonight there's a chance for it again. Is it likely, though? Because with what your guys are saying, they could come back, and they most likely will on the second map with just a little bit more gumption, just a little bit more fight in them.
They always seem to play harder the second time around. If they lose the first map, they just come out on fire. I don't know what it is.
It's a pride thing, right? Like, it's one of those things where do you have the type of personalities who kind of like tuck their tail between their legs and, go home or back to their little doghouse and wait out? Or are they the type of people to get mad and like, no, let's not let that happen. We're going to go hard here, right? I think all of SK have that personality where they just are winners.
Okay, well, we're going to pull up the Betway odds and take a look at where those fall. And when we do that, I'm going to ask you guys for your predictions alongside these numbers.
I mean, even after Misfits winning, you'd think it'd be a little bit lower, but it's still pretty in favor of SK. I guess they've all jumped on the bandwagon of they're going to win the second map. They're not going 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, there must have been somebody who was pretty happy with putting in their bet for Misfits on map 1.
Well, we do have our commentator standing by. We've got Blue and Launders. Blue, I see you still haven't finished your cylindrical meat over there. But take it away, guys.
All right, thank you, Stunna. Yes, it's time to dive into our second map now. And just like yesterday, actually, I think for SK, it goes over to Mirage for the second map here. We'll be jumping into it almost immediately, guys. So do get ready for it now and see if we can pull off the 2-0 for Misfits now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I buy into this whole, like, they can't be 2-0 thing, but I do think that Mirage is a good map for SK for sure. Like, I think they'll be a lot better on it. What's always curious to me is just, like, how they can do the same thing kind of in mid all the time, be very aggressive on T side, and still get away with these, like, plays just by timing everything a little bit differently every single round. So I'm curious. I am happy to see SK starting off on the T side, a team infamous for innovating in many ways, and also innovating with their selves after replacing FNX and adapting a new style with the young lad Phelps.
Well, SK are going to move pretty quickly into those back B halls, ready for an execute. Following that one up too, we'll see how they chase that down. Just going to be checking down here in the underpass just to make sure that there's no one from Misfits trying to check it, and there's not. But the one player that does try to lurk onto it, that's going to be Devo, taking him out of the fight. So Taco's already dead. The others will try to move back in. That flashbang was almost perfectly timed too, so Almanac just cannot stop the initial rush of players. They go leaping over. Coldzera just playing Frogger there in order to get close enough to get the kill on Almanac, so he squashes him, takes him out of the round. 4 remain here now for Misfits, and Coldzera already moving in and challenging towards the market area too, so they're not going to have a whole lot of options on this retake. They're almost immediately going to have to start fighting Sean, though, with his early apartments play. This actually might work out well for him. Unfortunately, he's losing teammates so quickly, and it might not make much of a difference at the end of the day. And yeah, they box him out pretty quickly as soon as they dispatch the Cat players. Just Sick left alive now, and he's even stuck behind a smoke. It's a 1v4. Everyone from SK is pushing it. They know he's here. It's just a matter of eliminating him, and they're going to do it on the first attempt. Fur takes him out, and SK take the lead to start off map number 2.
Big round from Fur. Obviously started out with Taco dying and coming out of Palace, and that's typically a spot where you don't see him push out of very often, and it's surprised to see him die, but not only that, die so early. So I'm kind of curious what SK's strategy was with using him in Palace, and whether or not he was meant to go out so soon, or if he was just trying to take some safe peek and then come out later. But it didn't really give Misfits that much info. They decided just to hold their positions. SK, on the other hand, went ahead with their contact explode B and ended up going swimmingly.
So SK now already getting that fast top mid control. Misfits aren't even really going to resist it at all. They've got a couple players in ladder room, but that's essentially it in terms of them resisting mid control. So they're just going to let SK walk in and take it here now on the second round, as SK also go with 4 humps on this round 2. So the a little bit liberal here with the SMGs, trying to stack up some extra cash. Only Fur rolling with the AK right now.
Wow, I absolutely hate this anti-eco from SK to put four umps at mid, and to do that versus armor pistol players in the second round. I don't even like just the mid control in general. Talked about that a few times. There's one kill. Phelps manages to trade out, very important. And Shazam, critical moment where he can actually decide whether or not Phelps is going to move to the left or the right. Phelps very hurt, and the bomb on his back ends up getting killed on Cat. And it's a 3-on-3.
Fur's going to swing out, they'll quickly trade that back, so eliminates him, and that puts the man advantage back under control of SK. They still have to go over to Cat to get the bomb, though, so it's still a little shaky for them. And Fallen, in the meanwhile, is going to be starting to lurk his way through those apartments, potentially over out onto the B site here. Sick and Devo now waiting in market, trying to resist this. They kind of assumed it would go B, but they're unsure about this, especially now that we're going to see, I believe that's Taco over there again, making a lot of noise in the A site. Run out smokes and one. It's going to hold those players back. It's going to split up the remaining CTs.
Oh.
And they can actually take the bomb through mid over to this now, but they're not going to check for 6. So he gets one more kill. Dives away. There's a deagle on the ground. That's tempting. Unfortunately, it's low on ammo, and he's not going to get the opportunity to peek in time here. Taco even moves in to dispatch of Devo. They'll plant with just 6 seconds remaining on the clock here, as you can see now. They're just barely going to be able to get that onto the ground. 6 been brought to 3 HP, though. Just one more shot will close it out. And there we go. SK take it, but it's not in a clean fashion at all.
Yeah, and obviously the round way too close. Just weird to take such a big area of the map with such short range guns, and not only that, but just take mid control in general versus armor pistol players that will also have a couple of scouts. Strange to me, I'll never understand it, and you know, I'm not exactly sure what the strategy was behind it. But we move into round 3, and it's going to be easy now that they're kind of through the woods here. They can just try to farm up. Going back to mid control, much more viable when you know that the other team doesn't have as much to work with. Deagles and scouts, probably the most dangerous things, and those are also the most expensive.
So Taco, he's going to be able to take out one player first to start this off here. That's elimination of Sick, but both Taco and Phelps have been digged. So they're very delicate here now, even to just these pistols. Fallen takes charge for his team now as he is able to move in. Almanac will eliminate one player here, and a second kill coming out from Sean here now. He's even going to push forward. Maybe a little bit too much as he kind of overstays his welcome. That'll leave only Devo alive. Devo's going to be a bit creepy with his positioning, however. Trying to move over underneath of the platform now, and he'll succeed in getting there. Oh, nice little flick as well to find Taco before he gets off the ladder into a position where he can kill him. Unfortunately for Devo, he is now trapped, essentially. And the second he swings out, they'll be waiting for him. Yeah, there's no right decision here, Devo. And Fur just takes him down as soon as he swings out wide enough.
I'm funny to see them just waiting for him to peek one side or the other, not just running away to B instead. Like, all right, let's just take this fight. Why not? Why risk giving him a gun, a chance to win the round in the late round instead? So we have him locked down. Let's keep it that way. So, SK 3-0 start, not the cleanest start. They've lost 3 players, I think, on both these rounds. So overall, great for Misfits, who ended up losing the pistol, making the most of it.
Fallen and Almanac will trade at the beginning of this round with Almanac down at bot mid here. Fur tries to push and get revenge, but doesn't even pay attention to window room, actually. So Misfits just getting away with murder here for now. Taco's going to attempt to trade some of this back. He'll be able to move in, finding Shazam at least. But now Taco works his way over to top. Still has more players to deal with. And in the meanwhile, well, Fallen has gotten his 1 kill, but he knows he's been revealed now as well, so he's going to have to play this very, very carefully upon creeping out. He actually is very safe, so he can just walk right onto the site and have to worry about nothing, but he does not know this yet. He's going to play it back, and when his time comes to get a second kill, misses his mark, and Sean just goes right back to window, and it's another headshot on the Taco, taking him out too. So there we go. Misfits with great control in the first gun round, and they'll take it no problem at all.
Sean looking like he's making some considerable improvements as an individual there. Just like really, I think his HSP, I want to check if his HSP has improved over the past 3 months. It seems like he's becoming much more efficient with his rifles than he used to be. So that was nice, and I like the call to go for top mid control and just make sure that SK cannot get away with it for free. Very important to be able to do that, to be able to impose your will on CT side in a much more dangerous and maybe unfavorable situation, just to show the other team that you're that much better and not afraid at all. So basically, because they did all that damage on the eco rounds as well, SK are saving 1 rifle, or they're forced up, excuse me. Fur's the only man. I think he was able to survive on both those rounds. Sean, though, eating a flash and getting pushed back.
Getting that first kill there. Wow, he hits another one too.
Was that 1 bullet?
That might have been 2. But still, regardless, it's impressive enough as he moves in there, knocking out pretty much all the Misfits resisting force. Phelps even takes out Shazam as well. There's just no room now for SK to lose this round. So Devo and Sick both going to fall back into the A site. They know they've been beaten. Devo did get that one kill with the throwaway needle to Phelps, but that's it. SK walk in, and with those 2 entries from Taco, they win the round.
I want to watch that again with the health bars, though. I want to see if that was one shot. I don't know. I guess he got... I don't even know if he got hit by the second guy. I don't think he did. Maybe he did. I don't know.
If we do have this on replay, then we might be able to watch it in slow-mo maybe, too, to see that a little bit better.
Slow it down.
We'll see if that's on replay or not. Ah, feels bad, man. Looks like we're not going to be able to take a look at that, so...
Round 6. Misfits, after winning such a really nice, having a pretty good start considering losing they lost the pistol, getting absolutely destroyed versus a B hit where Taco was the front man with a Tech 9 and got 2 instant headshots. I mean, at the very least, even if the Tech 9 was a bit too strong in that situation, he did aim for the face. We got to give him that credit. So that's pretty good for SK.
That's going to let SK basically steal the round that they had. Other than that, no business winning. So Misfits probably going to be pretty upset about it. Thankfully, they still have enough cash to rebuy. So at least they have that going for themselves. The rebuy's not that great. It does obviously involve the 2 saves with 1 additional pickup from Devo. And besides that, just 2 pistols and very limited utility as well. They're going to have to hope that they can find some serious impact here early on, as if this goes to the execution phase of the round, SK will have more than likely a very easy time entering the site. We'll find out though. Sean trying to hide out here, kind of in plain sight within the site, but Fallen's going to be able to grab him. Cole trades onto Shazam after he took down Fur at the beginning. Just like that, SK pretty much are in control. They only have a few more players to eliminate if they decide to dive in on B. The bomb's still waiting past top mid, however, so they're going to need to wait a couple of seconds in order to go back and grab that. You'll note the time actually getting a little bit low here. And obviously with all the time that's gone by since the last kill on B, Misfits were able to rotate a couple additional players inside the site.
Yeah, and it looks like it's actually going to be a work over towards B where there were 2 people. We got 1 man in Sandwich, and I think it's Almanex and B with a Deagle. So this is the right side to go to for sure for SK. Yeah. Free plant, open site, no nades to work with, but no need for nades. Cat control, and the bomb goes down.
They gambled a little bit by putting the 2 rifles on A, but at the very least, they get to save them again. And no one from SK really lurking close enough at the moment to kill them, but Taco is on the way through T-spawn.
Never want to deal with the devil. Did you beat Cuphead, by the way?
No. It's the
dragon's still unfair?
No, I beat him.
Okay.
I'm on like pretty much, I'm like 1 boss a night, essentially, right now.
Okay.
Trying to savor the experience, you know?
Yeah, that's what we'll call it. just
Listen, you.
not come to work stressed.
Alright, so Taco even ends up pushing into the wrong part of the map here too. Thinks they're maybe hiding out in Palace instead, so those 2 rifles will be safe moving into the next round. But obviously they already 4-spot last round, so unless they want to try to do it again with an even lesser buy, probably not going to end up too optimal. And they don't really have SK close to breaking either, so there isn't much merit in trying to full force here. They will just more than likely upgrade pistols in those 3 rebot players, and that'll be it.
Yep, that'll be it. They have, let's see what they're going to do. 2 rifles is a big deal. Sometimes 2 rifles wins the round, basically, or can force a save, or can get that opening kill, pick up a gun for a teammate. And stacks up at mid. They're waiting for the notorious SK mid anti-eco so they can bust out together, but it doesn't look like they'll have anything to respond to. Fro throwing a curious molly. 2 players creeping up the A ramp. 3 in connector from the CTs, however, ready to pounce.
They're ready to move into the site, but they're going to do it with a slow crawl here. No sign of the full-on execute just yet. Devo spots the Palace player, but that could just be a lurker, especially since it's Taco, so that's not going to sound any alarms at the moment. We also have the underpass player slowly lurking in towards connector there too, along with top mid. So there's going to be an additional mid presence that's going to be working itself over to this site. 3 CTs near connector though, and along with the player in window, is going to make this very difficult for them to for these mid players to actually find the impact here. We can see First spamming into it. He doesn't get anything done, but everybody flushing out into mid leaves the A site open for the taking here. That's where they're going to find the plant. Still even in with 3v3, they've recovered rifles too. They're going to try to boost in window, but coldzera spots that coming from a mile away. Takes them both out with no problem at all. Sean's looking for at least a trade, but Cold will back up from that. Doesn't necessarily want to directly re-challenge it. Sean also needs to save this rifle again, but yeah, Taco surprises as he just walks right into him. Takes him down, and that's another round for SK, 6-1.
Good round for Devo to make it scary, and here is everybody just busting out mid once they smell that there are at least a couple of Ts here, or they notice that A was being taken and it was time to execute on their strategy instead of just rotating hard back. They want to try to crush at least like a straggler or two, which is exactly what they got at mid. Because they're, if they go for the pack, they have a much worse chance of actually winning out. Some more things I learned from Nat Geo.
Is that what your nights are? Just
yeah, Cuphead and
Nat Geo in the background.
What's that world? What's the special they do? Just on Discovery, the big one.
Oh, we switched to Discovery now. This isn't Nat Geo. I don't know what the.
I mean, when you watch Nat Geo all day, you got to switch to Discovery.
you gotta mix it up a little bit.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Planet Earth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Isn't that a BBC thing? No. I know the original version of it was on Discovery, but
I have no idea. Maybe we shouldn't.
Six gonna be able to grab this first kill here. Moving in.
About animals.
Takes out Taco. Devo's gonna get a second kill there too. Trades for SK, but it doesn't seem to be enough. Misfits pretty much just hold the line. They don't really need to do anything special either. It's just SK go for a pretty straightforward attempt to take the site, and it obviously doesn't work very well.
Yeah, they crush at A ramp, and sometimes that's the best thing to do versus full executes is get right in the front of the execute, because everybody is throwing nades with the expectation that people are going to be holding spots like sandwich, like default, and that they're going to be sitting a little bit more passive, throwing counter nades, peeking out at correct timings. But if you're there, like right up in their face at A ramp, sometimes they're just going to expect to be able to run up A ramp, like. Famously, on Nips A execute on Mirage, Freiburg would always be throwing a Molotov from A-ramp, like while he was on the stairs. If someone's there to peek, Freiburg's dead. And that's a good way to catch your opponents off guard. So far, 2 rounds for the Misfits have come as a result of being aggressive. I want to say overly aggressive. We've got to be careful with that because it was definitely calculated.
Well, Misfits won't be getting any early frags this time around as they do get blocked out in window room, so unless they get lucky with spam through smoke, I'll be anything to find here. And this is going to let SK creep right into connector. Very surprised that there's no resistance here from Misfits either because of the 2 players in window. And now Fallen's just going to peek directly into it. Shazam's back sight by CT, and unfortunately just peeks out a little bit too far. Now Fur walks in. They're going to expect Sick in here too, so they're just executing Misfits one by one all across the map. Amanek, oh no, his rifle's been spotted too, so coldzera's going to see that.
It's a bad spot for a silencer, man.
Yep. And Sean won't last very long either. Taco is waiting in those B halls the whole time, so when he tries to escape, well, Taco will just shoot him in the head.
This was basically everybody in an individual basis winning a round out of their defaults, getting a lot of free map, getting a lot of map control that they got with a couple of flashes and stuff like that for getting escorted into connector. But then beyond that, for just lurking out and then finding his kill at jungle, that could have gone either way. That trade we saw happen in ladder room could have gone either way. Oof.
Oh, there we go. A little bit of spam. That's going to take out Fur. They will be able to trade out the guns and everything, though, so SK won't be too hampered by that just yet, especially with everyone else on Misfits also working with pistols currently. Their players all sitting back and actually evenly split, but you've got the 2-man team pushing into the B apartments right now, not spotting anything, so this should be a good sign to the A players that, yep, the hit's more than likely either going to come your way or up to our site through Cat right now. So just make sure that Shazam's able to spot to mid. Figure this out completely, because we don't have anything on the B site currently, and it actually looks like SK pretty ingeniously are going to end up walking through. And now the question is, do they kind of split it, ladder room here, going in to get window control and then splitting onto the A site, or they just roll up Cat into B? Either way, Misfits complete that flank. They're now in T spawn and coming back out through top mid.
I wonder if Shazam made enough noise that made it seem like he was rotating to A, so that would have been a bit of a misstep if they could hear him in ladder room running.
Oh, they have no clue that Ominek's here either. He will have to be careful rounding that corner, but no, they spot him. Fallen's going to deny it. And the other player is also kind of grouped up. He's not necessarily on a flank anymore either. He's just going to be working with his teammates here in a second. He, at the very least, is able to jump up on top platform there and find Taco. But SK now realize what the setup looks like, so they're going to waltz into B, get a free plant here. It won't even be necessarily easy for Misfits to try and just rotate over and look for exits either, because you still have Coldzera waiting back over here inside of jungle, trying to pick these guys off so they can't even get to the site.
I don't know how he always gets himself in these very lurky positions. Also has great awareness to complement it.
Last round, too. Sean, quick headshot, though.
Sean with the quickness. And recovers an op. 2v2, they won't even be able to chase that hard. Cold in the window. Does he have a better angle? I'm so,
oh, he saw the feet.
Show feet.
So Phelps is going to be able to help him out a little bit there, moving in. Finishes off Sean. And now Sick, obviously pretty detached from all this. He's still going to be good to survive there on the A site, but that's it.
I swear Misfits are playing all right. I swear they're not doing a bad job. Apart from the pistol, 2 anti-ecos. Even on the anti-ecos, 3 kills apiece. The rifle rounds pretty close. Like they're doing a good job. SK are just somehow finagling their way into getting more and more decisive. If anything,
the economy management on Misfits is like really bad right now, because this is a lot of eco rounds that we're seeing. We don't actually see gun rounds happening too often for them. And the unfortunate thing is, I think, you know, the most, well, I was just about to say Misfits keep getting unlucky as well here, because the second they win the round, obviously this doesn't have to do with luck, but the next round over, they find themselves reset. At least that's what happened on the first gun round they won. There they get very unlucky, obviously. First is going to walk right into a double kill. And yeah, that's an interesting one here. Well, he just denies him with a P250 anyway, so takes out Sean. And now Shazam. Well, 5v1, everybody at 100 HP too. Good luck.
Yeah, will it be a clean round? Nope.
No, he does dink fur, so.
There we go, some ADR for your troubles. If this was an RPG, that's what. Double op set up in response. SK would have pulled the trigger on these double ops 5 rounds ago. But because it's been such a streak, Misfits haven't been able to change it up that much. As you mentioned, have had to double save, have had to save after every single rifle round. Because even though they were doing such a good job, I think, versus SK on their eco rounds, SK were doing equally as well versus them on their anti-ecos.
Well, a slow start again for SK, as they're not actually going to take mid control this time, at least not early on. They leave their players beyond top mid, and that's going to let Shazam peek all the way out from Cat. He has his presence established. This means things will be a little bit dangerous for SK upon moving out. We would hope, however, that they're able to properly smoke off Shazam and these other players, or at least flash their way out to get that top mid control. Oh, and let's see here now. Well, the third player, he's going to throw out his own flash, actually run boost in, but he just run boosts right into Shazam's crosshair, unfortunately. For at the very least, trades elsewhere on the map by getting a kill on his Sick. So that leaves us down in a 4v4, but still no mid control really for SK to play off of here. And Madness was a pretty big part of their strat, so they need to recover from this very quickly and start lining up for the take. Fallen, though, moves in. He's going to be able to spot out Devo, taking him out of this fight. The Cat player, unfortunately, and this is Shazam again, is not able to do much because he got smoked out, so he has to fall back away and just try to rotate normally. Sean, that means, is alone here on this site currently, trying to defend essentially 1v4.
So he's trying to guess where Taco is. I don't even know. It is Taco, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
And Taco's trying to guess where he is, and took his wide peek out, cleared the defaults. We'll call that it's probably under Balk. Phelps wide peeks him and takes him out. There it is, just Shazam now.
And he gets flashed.
Full flashed.
They know where he's at now, too, because they definitely shot at him. So they're going to realize he's back here. He can't really have that element of surprise anymore. Ominek could potentially sneak out here and try to pick someone off from Cat, as it does look like they're swinging. I think Fallen is watching Cat, however. No, he's looking at like crawl space right now, I think. It's hard to tell from Ominek's point of view, but
yeah.
Looks like they're going to call for a save anyway, so we won't see any peeks out, any attempt to retake. They've given this one up, and that's going to put SK in the double digits.
Yeah, solid round. I think it fell apart when Devo Duvek gave up that kill in connector. I think after SK took mid control, it was very clear that it was going to be the op leading #1, and also it was going to be very hard to peek connector dry like that and get anything out of it that was worthwhile for your team. So I feel like that was very curious of him. Here's Ominek doing a good job though, holding onto these guns, which is very important for them. Double op as well might influence some risky buying decisions, but they've got to do it. They really need to bring this one back, at least in this half so far. It's got to be kind of depressing to think that they were kind of doing well, but after losing some very key rounds, they're just in such a bad spot overall. Omnek opping top mid. Where is our other op? He is in CT, okay. So we can kind of see that this is a very common setup. Devoduvek just dodging flashes. Omnek take the first shot. As soon as the flash pops, he can turn around, kill anybody that strafes out wide looking at window. And in the meantime, can just like keep an eye on underpass.
Yeah, so he'll be hanging out here. Again, though, SK pretty much avoiding mid until the late round, it looks like here, so they're not going to go directly out. Misfits will have to sit in this setup for a very long time before it proves itself fruitful here. SK, besides this, have presence established just outside of the A site, again, mainly to watch for pushes, and then 2 and B, so more than likely, or B halls, so more than likely we will see that execute out onto the B site, which is going to make this mid setup very important for the CTs. If this works, then it could completely kill the strat for SK.
Oh yeah, the bomb's going out too.
If it fails, it's basically an open site.
Are they doing the jump over?
I'm amazed they do this after the last round here where it didn't really work out, because Devo is going to spot this. They cancel the run boost as a result of that, but Devo gets the second kill anyway. It's fallen to Traded as he works out from underpass, but that missed shot is going to let Sick not only take him out, but get the second kill too. Now it's just Taco alone. He does get 1 kill in the lurk coming out ramp, but Sick, again, moves in to trade him after that as he concludes with his 3rd kill on the round.
It really is just like this game of fluid chess with every once in a while, like an amazing individual play to come out of it. But as we can see, the setup just ends up being the correct one, where Devoduvek does his job perfectly. Phelps doesn't even clear him because he's worried about window and connector. And then he's able to, once he gets that kill, know that he can turn around and with conviction, stare down the people who are coming across top mid.
Fallen gets the kill early this time, however, as now they look for revenge against the Misfits. Devo waiting in the front, trip stack. He's able to trade against Taco. Phelps looking for more, but all he does is give away his position. And by following the tracers, Sean takes him out. SK unfortunately try to go faster this time, and the result remains relatively unchanged there in mid. Misfits still hold full control, and these remaining 3 at the moment propped up to go in ramp, but that would be suicide given the current setup from Misfits unless their entries are on point. So they'll go for it anyway. The flashbang's actually pretty good. That's going to send Devo back, so he can't immediately impact. The second flash ends up hitting them too, so Burr just spams them both down. Shazam trades for 1, but he can't re-peek right now. There's more great flash work coming back in. Cole's going to use the smoke that's been established, so will creep forward there, but he doesn't see Sean going up behind the box. That's going to be on top of the smoke. Sean gets the kill. Now Fallen looks to clutch, but it's him holding on the site with an op. We've seen how proficient he's been with this on Cash. He's going to get creative with it too, creeping up even towards Sandwich now. He'll watch on top though, and this awkward angle for him might actually kill him. He's got to be very careful to look downstairs here. Lines up the first one, gets that shot, tries to swing out, quickly scope in upon landing, but Shazam is ready to trade that back out, and he gets the kill, securing the 1v1 and the 4th round for the Misfits.
I was actually quite wise, Shazam, to pick up the rifle and move out with Sean together, clearly communicating in that 2v1 to make it very viable, and I feel like just called out exactly what Fallen was doing, that he moved into Sandwich, that he was going to be there, or has definitely left default, and yeah, I mean they just seemed like they knew where he was, even though he didn't make noise, which was cool. I'm not sure what gave him that info. Where's all the secret info that Sean keeps getting?
I don't know. Just watches so many demos, he knows every possible.
Yeah, he is one.
Has every possible movement of every possible player in every possible situation.
It's a new copy pasta.
So let's see here. Misfits.
Sean Gare is a very tactical player. He clears all angles like some Navy SEAL.
Start off this round. Fur trying to go out underpass. He's going to get tagged first. Cold also got hit too, trying to go for top boxes control. So he's down about 1/3 of his HP. Misfits recovering actually quite nicely here after dropping many of the rounds early on. It's 10-2, but they've managed to pick up these last 2 rounds out of 3. They can complete this one. And okay, assuming a strong start on T side, they might be able to get back into it. Fur, despite the whiffed molly, lines up a shot and Fallen gets one through a wall too against Sick. Nicely found from him. Well, leaves only 3 players alive for Misfits here. And all of them very spread out too, so even just one of them being eliminated could seal the deal on the round for SK. But SK is still trying to figure out where exactly they want to take the bomb. Looks like, yeah, it's going into B halls here, so just falling to kind of fake on his own. And Cold even gets that kill in mid, which does swing the B site completely open for the taking. These last two, unfortunately, would have to go for a very long rotate. They will probably attempt it, but their odds are going to look terrible.
Yeah, see, when everything fails, when you have like lose all your teammates, then you just go on the rebound basically, and you'll fall for anything. You're desperate. So as soon as you see a little bit of tension at that A ramp, you just want to cling on to it. And you're like, I'm going to believe that this is the site that they're hitting. And so it's super easy when you have the man advantage to get that.
Manek, while on the move there, moves out to take down Coldzera. Taco will get naded back. They're making a little bit of progress here. Still a long way to go, but Hamanek with another nice kill. They're just bustling in, getting these frags. Finally fallen. Is able to take him down, so it leaves only Devo Duvek alive. He gets the third kill all of a sudden, now in a 1v2. It's close to another one, but not going to make it happen, so SK control the situation 11-4 at the end of the first half. Stick with us to see if they can keep that going strong on their CT side, or if the Misfits will be able to bounce back and complete this 2-0 lead.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to continue on with our second map here in Mirage between SK and the Misfits. Misfits, while they started off strong on the last map, were able to close out strong too. It's not necessarily the case here. They do recover a little bit towards the end of the first half, but still only ended with 4 rounds coming off of their first half.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. They only ended up with 4 rounds after having, it just seemed like so many good things to say about their CT side, so that's kind of depressing. But overall, what can you say, man? SK on T side of Mirage is what they were, again, what James mentioned, is what they came up and made their name on. They it was a lot to do with reinventing the A site mid control, and they just went ahead and abused that all the way through this game as well. So even with a new lineup and a new way of playing the map, they are still extremely good at it. And it's going to take a lot. Misfits are going to have to dig deep, very, very deep, to pull off this comeback. 10 rounds in a row just to get to 14.
And so we delve into the second half with Misfits starting off from the T side. Glocks for everyone here. Nobody upgrades the pistols, but they do have 2 utility players, which is a little bit far from the norm. Normally it's 4-1 on that split. SK in the meantime don't buy any utility at all. It's just 5 armor buys and a couple decoys.
It's funny to see the meta hasn't changed that much.
Misfits moving in, but Fallen quickly strikes down one of them. However, he's going to get run over. Phelps over here from the anti-firebox position. He's only able to get 2, but that's still 2 very important kills. Cold even lining these last 2 up as well as we kills one. Does great damage to the second. The nade bounce, unfortunately, doesn't do that much. So he's kicking up some dirt. And now he's going to have to try to creep over to retrieve this bomb. There's a flank working against him while this is going on too, but oh, look at this. He's going to get creative now. Pushing into jungle here, seeing if he can sneak around, but I think Fur reads into this. He's going to go back towards CT. Sean knows actually this is a possibility, so he's going to dive downstairs instead and work his way through underpass. Maybe get a cleaner route over that. Fur just basically holds its CT and is waiting for him to come through crawl space, but he's never going to get anything. So as a result of him slowing down and wasting like 5 to 10 seconds just holding that angle, that is going to let Sean into the site. And while he's still going to have a very low chance of clutching this, he at least gets the plant now.
At least he gets the plant. Yeah, I mean, that's all he really wanted to do for his team, realizing that he's super low. It's going to be difficult to win. But I wanted to say with that very arbitrary stat at the beginning that for SK, all they have to do to get to 14 is win a pistol. And here is that round. So now that they've won it, they are going to feel very comfortable knowing that they only have to play out a couple anti-ecos. Misfits are going to have to get real creative here with this plant. I wonder, are they going to force up right here? Or are they going to wait one round, actually? Because they could do an ump buy and a push. Oh, we actually had right side sight smokes, but the guys that were on the inside of the smoke lived for so long that our player in CT couldn't get pushed.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna buy. Interesting. They might try to go for another plant. I'm surprised they don't even. I guess either you buy next round or you go for another plant and you have tons of money left over. But there's no real way to have it both ways.
I'm assuming they just buy next round here, but they didn't buy. Usually you see like a flash or something like that in order to make this buy a little bit more palatable to get that second plant, but no utility purchase at all here, so just the pistols.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need a second plant per se, though you would love to have one. I'm just, you know, some teams have been buying on the second round just to catch teams off guard.
Yeah.
I guess SK were aware of that threat, decided to get 3 rifles, but
we can see like the AK raid boss buys have become
two AKs,
yeah,
couple of pistols,
becoming more common recently.
Like a B hit off that's pretty strong. Yeah, instead, it's going to be next round. We'll see how much damage they do, but it's going to be next round. SK are going to have full nades, 3 rifles, maybe 4, maybe 5. It's not going to be an easy round.
Go for window boost first off here. There's no presence from SK inside of it, so it's going to be a clean window boost. Fur is actually on the outskirts right now, looking for a way to wrap around inside. Won't find it, but now backs up over towards the window room. But Misfits have not gone inside there yet, so for Fur, this all looks clear to him. Well, not anymore, as he does find multiple players in connector. Both of them will go down. This window player pretty much the only one that could save the day at this point, and he's actually going to be the last man standing. Oh, all right. Gets one through the crawl space, gets a second one outside, but after that, his road does end pretty quickly.
Oh, he's trying to give him the gun. Oh, wow, that was clutch. Did he actually throw it to him, though?
Who was behind it? Was it Phelps?
I think he did, yeah. The 3 players alive all had M4s. That was clutch. That was very clutch.
There we go.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, they pick up the 5. Oh, wait. No, Phelps actually just rebought a UMP instead of upgrading. So, yeah, it cost them a little bit of money, but it was only the SMGs. And Misfits now, obviously going out in a buy. SK are going to be fully aware of this, especially after hearing that AK ring off. Make control on the docket for Misfits as they are holding back. Very, very passive hold from Devo Duvak to make sure no one pushes a ramp or palace.
They're all just completely pinholed at top boxes here too. Besides Devo holding the outside of those B halls here, if SK.
This is a very primitive mid control.
Yeah,
I want to say.
That's what I was just about to say. Is that if SK do manage to get some nice angle against these guys, then it's going to be chaos for Misfits. So they're making sure to smoke pretty much everything off as they move in to take that control.
They're not doing the special top connector smoke. They're just running up and throwing it. I like doing a walkout though versus a team that definitely has way more utility than you.
We're gonna spot one in window, but that does give away their stack a little bit here, depending on how, depending on how much they saw. Sean's gonna be able to walk right in though. He takes down Coldzera. Taco sitting back.
Okay.
Additional kills coming out for Misfits here, though, as they make the entries work. Both Sick and Omnic get kills almost the exact same time. The walkout does wonders for them. Phelps now dead, and Fallen just walks out into his own death. So Misfits with a very clean entry onto that B site, and a clean hold afterwards, too.
Yeah, that was nice. So they did the very, very basic, minimal mid control, not anticipating, I guess, first and foremost an op, and then running up, smoking connector, top connector to make it seem as if they were, first of all, you need to throw the top connector smoke just so that it's like you can actually block a vision. But they didn't even really clean out connector, which might have been a worry for them. Instead, they decided to walk up cat, be very aware of connector, so that if someone peeked, maybe they just straight up get the kill, and then hit SK with either a fast B hit or a complete change of pace, knowing that they've gotten one down at A. and were able to walk into the site. Sean, clean headshot on Coldzera, and 2 of his teammates in tandem hit some good entries.
And well, now Misfits are going to get ready to basically just explode out this time instead of the walkout. They go for pretty much the exact opposite. A straight play into the site after the smokes bounce. And SK, well, light bought here, so they're not really going to have a whole lot to resist it with. Already taking down Coldzera, the others falling away from it. Yeah, they know nothing's going to happen. Taco just trying to spam towards window, hoping to get lucky with a headshot. But ultimately will back out. There's not really anything the remaining 3 can do. They don't even have anything to save necessarily, but they can at least deny the kills.
I think going beyond Anti-Ecos is very blessed. I recommended that everybody has, like, everybody considers walk exploiting B or simply like hitting B however you want, just because it's such a small site, it's hard to stack, and it's not very common to stack. I honestly think that people just will stack A more often, pretty much because for T's it's closer. So if you want to do something quick, people just like to go A for that reason. It sounds like it's a very dumb reason, but I think it really does affect how much people use the site.
So let's see, now SK will be able to rebuy. I believe it's going to be forced to a certain degree, however. You can see fallen onto a Mag 7, but everybody else will get an M4, and most get enough utility going here too.
It's like, would you rather go to In-N-Out if it was half a mile away, or to McDonald's if it was only 100 meters away? You don't have to answer now.
Probably In-N-Out. Depends really on what kind of mood I'm in. Shazam's going to be able to move out. He'll take down Fur to start off this round. Phelps also getting hit pretty heavily too, so he's going to be down in a third. Misfits actually covering all their assets at Atomic Control. You'll note that there's one player watching for a quick flank too, even though they additionally have Deva Duvek back down by T-Spawn to watch out for that, just in case someone sneaks through the cracks. Now Misfits will deploy, this is that fancy little bounce down smoke to cover connector. Now for the others, they'll reroute away from top mid and head into B halls. But it seems like SK have some kind of an inkling of this might be happening. Few reasons behind it. One, you've got Fallen pushed way out from ramp, so he knows there's probably not going to be enough presence at A to suggest a hit there.
2. I just wanted to say the numbers.
Oh,
for
okay.
you. Go ahead.
2, they obviously have these 2 players stacked pretty deep in B, so they seem to suspect something there. And the fact that there's no more noise at mid, no additional smokes or anything getting tossed out, this will secure it here, as we do have Misfits going in for it. Taco's going to completely back away from this as well once he sees the hit rolling back in. They're both going to try to hold from the back area behind bench. Molly will force Taco. Ooh, yeah, it looks like he was safe there for a second, but he's going to go down first anyway, and Colt's only able to get 1 kill. Phelps makes the trade a bit more even, though, as he picks up that second one, but there's still an disadvantage from the mid take. Fallen, though. A race car working his way back from those B halls. He does have to slow it down when he gets into the actual halls. He is on the way on a flank. Unfortunately, the position is not going to be the greatest, especially if they check for him. This Mag 7 might be a little bit hard to work with here, but he might be the first one up to bat.
You know what sound a race car makes?
What?
Ree.
He's going to waltz in. He actually does get one with the USP in hand. He's going to be able to take him down. Oh, he gets a second with a shotgun, too. 1 more to go here. Shazam's below it. Fallen might as well just clutch it out now, and there we go. Fallen the 1v3 with a Mag 7 and a USP.
Oh, my God. He actually did it. And it was like a 1v3. Phelps is just sitting back, waiting for his time to come in. Fallen never dies. Gets all the kills, tons of money, defuse. SK steal back a very important round. Oh, my God.
He's probably really mad at the guy that was watching Apartments.
Yeah. Who was?
I think it was this last guy that dies, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it was Shazam.
Shazam.
So he's not going to be able to call it out properly, or just doesn't see that other window.
Yeah.
So lets him push all the way and get in between and line up that perfect headshot angle, and then the chaos just grows from there.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't even intermittently spotting, which would have been hugely beneficial, obviously.
Fallen might be able to add some more frags to the tally now as they're going to flash out. Oh, he's blinded by the flash, but he should have taken the shot. He gets into the smoke. He's right next to the Alfred. He doesn't even notice it. Oh, they're like, no! They deny him, though. 6 spins around and gets that headshot onto him. It seems like Phelps and Fur able to manage most of the chaos here. Fur getting an additional pickup. Even with Devo's trade, it's not enough. It leaves Shazam alone, and he's just going to be destroyed by coldzera on peeking out in Tetris, and that puts SK up to map point.
What just happened? How much damage did that do?
We're going to watch from 6 perspective now. Oh, you can see the shots. Wow, that quick swing,
Oh, that's
too.
nuts. But how did... But, like, Shazam got shot in the back of the head, right?
It looked like it,
Did it dink him? Like...
I guess not.
I don't... It didn't
Should
seem
have
like...
killed him if it dinked him. But you could see there was like the 3, pellets or whatever you want to call it. That shot of those 3 tracers there from the shotgun.
Yeah.
So I guess the majority of it didn't hit then. I don't know how many bullets actually come out of the Mag 7 shot, but
I'd only need 1.
or how many damage points. I don't know what the particular term would be, but for challenging maybe a little bit too boldly here. He does go 1 for 1. So that'll put us down to a 4v4 at the beginning of this round here. And with Aminet getting that kill, I think prior to that he only had the CZ, so that's actually going to cause him to get an upgrade too. So that actually arms up Misfits a little bit better here. SK giving Misfits a fighting chance at least. And we'll see just how well Misfits are able to try and execute here. Keeping themselves alive. They need 9 rounds straight. And that will trigger OT, but 1 single loss is going to go and send this map into SK's favor.
1 player at risk here is Phelps. Won't be able to stay alive from his spot, fallen. Well, helping out a friend.
They're very committed to the site, though. There's no pulling out now. Fallen is going to sit behind Ticket. Won't be engaging these guys just yet. He's going to be a little bit careful because of the Molotov there, but obviously just blinded to try to find the best spot. Taco trying to take some duels here, but Shazam on the outside. Look at the timing from Fallen, though. He moves in, lines up the 1v1, and Devo seems to have been hit by coldzera. He's going to try to change position, but coldzera will spot him out in the open and shut things down for SK as they take map number 2 here and complete the trade again. 1-1 for the night, just like Energy yesterday.
Gotta love how aggressively coldzera plays that 1v1. And I guess just like the analysts predicted, we have a SK can only ever go 1-1.
Yep.
But will they ever go 2-0, I guess is the question.
Yeah, that's the real question here is they can't seem to close out that first map for whatever reason. But we have the analysts standing by to talk not only about that, but the rest of this second map too. Gentlemen, into Bears.
I'm not sure if that's totally true because they did 2-0 C9 earlier this week. Maybe you guys have to play a little bit of memory game to train that.
Yeah, I think maybe they mean it the opposite way. Maybe they mean it, will they ever be 2-0'd?
No, they said, are they ever going to
right.
2-0? Yeah,
You're right.
so
They're wrong. Blue's wrong. Always will be wrong.
So kind of in terms of my IGLing style, I don't really give people second chances, so that was really annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move forward.
Let's move forward to what we have today in front of us, which is SK coming out on Mirage, almost looking totally different than Cash.
Winning both pistols, dominating across the map, and making that 16-12 scoreline on Cash look like a joke, right?
Yeah. Their T-side timing was amazing. Like you could tell, it looked like a way different team. Just how everything was being peaked. Looked like they were a well-oiled machine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well-oiled.
You went there.
I went there.
Well, we went to Mirage, and we're going to load up our first replay here. In round 4, we do have a little bit of an aggro Misfits side here.
Right, so look at how small the nade count is, right? If they wait back in positions playing like a traditional 2-1-2, 2 at the bomb site, 1 mid, 2 at the other bomb site, Misfits probably just gets eaten alive here, right? But Sean's like, all right, we have low utility, we all went for the M4s, no kits, no mollies. Let's push mid, right? If they go mid, we can win this battle and win the round within the first 20 seconds, which is exactly what they did, right? So just trying to highlight, sure, SK dominated this map, but Misfits did do some cool things, and this was one of them.
It's very nice, and I mean, I always try to say this in pugs, guys. Push middle with low utility. I mean, it's a smart move by Misfits, and I think it's the right call, and they win the round because of it.
Well, ultimately, it's hard to put up too much of a fight there against some of these SK players. I mean, specifically Taco. We're going to load up round number 5 now and take a look at some work that he was able to do.
And with Taco, what's really awesome about this, you could tell that they practice the timing of this because it's so perfect. It's Taco, okay, you kind of see someone, Sean Garrett's on top of the van, but that flash just destroys him. And as soon as he's blind, Taco's out there running around. And Taco's showing that Tech-9 maybe not as bad as he thinks.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to say that. I was like, that Tech-9 looks pretty nutty there. But man, that flash, I think Sean just like barely caught like a frame or two of Taco's like body actually eclipsing through that smoke, right? And then the flash pops and he's over immediately.
It's just
like think about because they don't know exactly where that smoke's gonna land, right? So Taco has to make the call. He's like, throw your smoke now, right? Before Taco's going through the smoke, he calls it. Or I mean, throw your flash. So that's just, it's so cool to see it. That was like basically, that's like the Fnatic B strat. They used to run that way back in the day, and it was so effective for them.
Well, we're talking about SK's timing being on point here, and that kind of holds true. Even in our last replay that we're going to load up for you now, I believe it's round number 12. We see a great timing here from SK.
So as you see right here, there's Taco. He's tossing the flashbangs and be tossing a nade A ramp. While this is happening, first coming underpass, SK, as you see, Kozo gets picked off, but they have a run boost. So at the same time, they're making noise A ramp, underpass, and middle, all at the same time. So Furex gets a kill on the guy connector. Taco falls back in the halls, and now you see Fallen and Phelps kind of holding around the middle. And just the timing on everything, it just makes sense to where, you know, Taco's like making noise. Look at me, you know, making sure that they're not overstacking towards the mid, so it makes it a little easier for SK to have those picks, to have those entry kills and exchanges. And it just shows that it's just one little part of a map in one round, and it's like their entire, on all maps, on all angles, they have this ability to just all work it at the same time, and just it makes it so hard to read as CT to kind of find the times of SK just by playing them.
I would hate to be a cat, a window, or a connector player against SK, right? Because that's kind of where all of the stuff happens on Mirage, right? Like, they can kind of deduce where somebody's going to be based on what's happened so far in the round, and this just seems so tough to do.
And Phelps is definitely hanging around there somewhere, right? So, well, we do see the series split between the two teams there in SK and Misfits. But in case you didn't see that, head over to youtube.com/ESLCS, where you can load up that VOD. And even, you know, going forward, you can load up the VODs in the matches that we're about to go into. It's kind of like that Minority Report type thing. But anyway, so we're going to be jumping into our next matchup right now. It's going to be Liquid and Optic.
Oh, man.
And this one, I believe, is something to look out for here. Our first map of the night between these two teams is going to be Mirage. And just real briefly, before we go to a break, how are we feeling about Mirage between these two teams?
I think Liquid has the edge, just based on their historical results in the last month or so.
I think Liquid seems to always kind of pull ahead. But, you know, in the past, they have that choking thing that they do. But, but you know what? I think they kind of came over it a little bit. I think they're over that hump, and then you can see a lot more consistent wins. And, you know, it's not just a fight between these two teams. It's the fight of the fans, the Optic fans versus Team Liquid. You know, there's a history between some stuff that's happened in the past.
We don't actually want to be fighting, right? We just want to have that humble rivalry that makes both teams better.
It's just banter.
Yep.
It's just banter.
It's just good old fun.
For the most part, it's just banter. Unless you're in chat, you know, it's all pretty much free reign over there with all that. But anyway, so we're going to be going to a quick break. When we come back, we're jumping into Liquid and Optic. Make sure you're here to see if the green wall can hold true and hold their #1 spot in the league. We'll be right back.